we have most definitely experienced discrimination within the LGBT community, and it's mostly because we're femme presenting, you know, people with masculine bodies, whatever that may mean. But we go out in the world and the world perceives us as one way, but we present ourselves in a way that is completely unfamiliar to most people. And you would think that that would stop, you know, at the walls of our community, and that would be the place where everybody, gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, would all kind of come to this mutual understanding. But we found that, like, most gay men have been so opposed to everything that we do and everything that we are, you know?
And then there's an added element of, like, racism in the queer community, which is something I've had to deal with. And I think it's frustrating because as the queer community, no matter who you are or what you are, if you identify as someone in the queer community, you're going to be perceived differently by the world around you in general. And so being queer is supposed to be a thing where we can all kind of come together in the fact that, like, we're not perceived
that we're outsiders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like we're not openly accepted in the ways that, like, our more, like, heteronormative counterparts are, like the way our white counterparts are, etc. So it's just frustrating because I feel like the biggest thing to kind of, like, remedy the, like, I guess the separation between, like, people in the queer community would be to kind of educate one another about ourselves. I feel like people don't realize that queer isn't just one thing, you know. I might have my own experiences as, like, a gender non-conforming black male body. That's what the terms are that we have to use. I like experiences are different from Nyx's. Like, I might know Nyx very well, but at the end of the day, we're both very different people, and that's the way the entire community is. It's the way the world is. So it's like the sooner we can all kind of collectively understand and accept one another, and it's so cliche, like, despite our differences, but that's really all that comes down to, is having, like, respect and human decency for the lives of others.
I think it's also important that a lot of specifically gay, cis, white men in our community to understand that being gay doesn't absolve you of every other privilege that you have. You know, I may be gay, I may be non-binary, but I'm also white, and that adds a layer of privilege that, say, Priss does not get afforded in our world. And I feel like where a disconnect happens in our community is that there are some members who, they face discrimination for being gay, but that is it, and that is a stopping point, and they don't care to try to understand the deeper levels of, you know, discrimination that, say, black trans women face. I mean, black trans women are being killed every single year. Like, it is getting worse by the year, and nothing is being done about it, you know? Nothing is being said. And it's mostly because our own community won't fight for itself, and we're really letting down members of our family. So I really think it is about opening our minds farther than our own worldview and our own, like, stories.
Also, I think history is so important.
Yeah, know where you came from.
You mentioned black trans women, and then we can't help but think, like, Marsha P. Johnson and, like, Sylvia Rivera. These women were out here pioneering and making it possible for Nyx and Priss to be standing in this year. Like, we were able to walk through the streets with, like, a full beat on, and, like, we were fine, like, we were safe, and that's a privilege that we get to have, but that's because people fought for us to have it.
Without trans women of color or drag queens, we couldn't do what we do.
Exactly. And if you think about, like, the history you're taught in the classroom, like, we didn't get a queer history education. Like, everything I know about queer history and, like, the community, I learned from doing outside research. Like, I had to be, like, Google Marsha P. Johnson, who is, like, I was like 8 or so, and I, like,
you Google, am I gay quiz?
Right? Like, all of these things just to learn more about yourself. And I feel like, I guess it's just one of those things where education is the key.
Listen to people, be compassionate, don't be mean, educate yourself.